Hi, and welcome to my vlog. Today we are going to do a short I am, not we. I am going to do a short review of the first Crash Bandicoot, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about animated movies, but um, not cartoons and stuff like that, but stop motion and claymation and puppets and stuff like that. And the reason I've chosen that for this video, well, some of you might already know. Well, all already have guessed it, and some of you will find out later. First, let's get into the first person. Let's talk about Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is an amazing game, truly amazing. And I just heard an Enderman. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot, amazing game. It's kind of difficult, and I've never really been good at 3D platformers. I think Crash Bandicoot was actually like the second 3D platformer I tried. The first one being what's the game called? Pandemonium, which really didn't use the 3D that much. Pandemonium was more like a 2D, no, a traditional platformer with 3D effects. But still a great game. I'm gonna talk about that in a later video. But for now, Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, the like I said, I've never really been that good with 3D platformers, so it's kind of difficult for me. I have trouble with the depth, I think, with the distance when you like jump inwards, like I just did, and at times too, I couldn't tell where I would land. But I mean, I guess that is one of the difficult things about the game. Um, really beautiful game. I like the environment. It had some really nice things to look at, and um, yeah, very beautiful. I especially liked the. Can I usually have a gate here? Oh, right, here it is. I think the levels I liked the most were probably the jungle ones, and I mean that was pretty much most of it. But yeah, I didn't like really that like the factory ones. I thought they were kind of boring. Not really that many visuals to look at. But the jungle ones, I also really liked the ones where it was 2D but still in 3D. Those were really nice as well. Didn't I used to have a hoe? Oh, right here. One thing I didn't like was actually I didn't really care that much for the bosses. Well, the bosses were fun and interesting characters, but unless you had already played the game, you were bound to die at least a couple of times, even if you were really good at the game, because you really never knew what to do. It wasn't really that clear on how you were supposed to beat the enemies. And I know it shouldn't be like were told what to do, but a small hint would have been good. That might just have been me not really picking up on it, but I had really a hard time figuring out what to do with some of the enemies, and I died at least 3 or 4 times before realizing what to do, and even then it was kind of hard. And yeah, they are supposed to be difficult. They are bosses after all. Another thing I really didn't like, and that was just because I sucked at the game, but when those in certain levels, and those were the kind of 2D like levels where you would jump upwards and you had to like jump on these trampolines or whatever they were, and if you fell down, you had to start all over, and that became annoying as hell. But like I said, all in all, a fantastic game that I would highly recommend people play. I haven't played any of the sequels, but I hope someday they'll get the option of doing that, because Crash Bandicoot is an amazing, fun game, and my motherfucking thing just died. God damn it. My hoe. It didn't even say a sound. Normally it would say like a breaking sound. That was kind of weird. I guess have to go make a new hoe. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot. Awesome. Right, cow? Right, cow? Okay. Never mind then. Um, Now, the reason I chose to talk about stop motion and puppets and claymation and stuff like that is because one of the best stop motion movies, in my opinion, ever made actually starred a fox. Some of you probably already know what it is, and yes, it is Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love that movie. It is truly amazing, and that's not how you make a... Oh, my sticks! Oh, I caught them. But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is an amazing stop motion movie about a fox trying to defend um his home and his friend's home from a, I think it's a lumberjack or something. Well, not a lumberjack. It's three people who have bought the forest they live in and want to demolish it or something. I can't actually remember the story well, but it's a so super funny movie with the voice of George Clooney. That almost rhymed. Movie Clooney. Yeah, it kind of rhymed. But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox, amazing. I actually saw a really awesome claymation movie just the other day. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. The Adventures of Mark Twain. Really amazing, kind of dark movie. I wouldn't actually say it was a children's movie, but I think actually it was made for children. But yeah, really beautiful made claymation. And of course we have the more traditional puppet movies such as the Muppet movie, and I'm talking about the original one from, oh god, I don't even know when it's from. But the original Muppet movie, the first Muppet movie. Incredible movie. Jim Henson was basically the king of making puppet movies. We had the Muppet movies, and then again also we had his fantasy movies such as Labyrinth and... Where's my sword? Labyrinth and of course The Dark Crystal, which is not only one of the best puppet movies, it's also one of the best fantasy movies ever. Other great... We have another great claymation movie is Mary and Max, which is actually about autism, which I have, so that's a pretty cool movie to see when you have autism. Well, also if you haven't had autism. It's a really funny and at the same time serious movie about two people a little girl and an old man who start to become pen pals. And it's a really beautifully done movie. And we have a Danish puppet movie, actually. I've never actually been... What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Actually never been that big a fan of Danish movies. I don't think... There's some good Danish movies, but most of it, in my opinion, is rubbish. But Strings, which is a Danish puppet movie, is amazing. It's kind of like... What they call marionette puppets? In the fantasy universe. And the cool thing is, the reason it's called Strings is of course the marionettes have strings, but also the movie itself, the strings plays a role, like kind of like their connection to heavens and stuff like that. And really funny because the way they make prison is just to have like a bar set over your head so you can't walk under it because the strings can. It's hard to explain, but Strings, the sun is going down, is an awesome puppet movie as well. But yeah, I like all kinds of animation, but to be honest, the whole computer animation is getting too much. So it's refreshing to once in a while to watch maybe an old, maybe a new, but some old stuff like stop motion and uh, puppets and claymation. Oh yeah, one more. Uh, a Czechoslovakian one from the 80s called the Pied Piper, where it's all wooden dolls, and it is so beautifully done. Uh, Incredible movie. And It's of course the story of the Pied Piper from Hamlin. I think that was called. Um, Amazing story, amazing movie. Let's see any more. I just I remembered one just a second ago, but I've forgotten it again. Damn it! What was it? Oh, I keep messing up. Um, oh, there we go. And 10 books. Now we have 11 books. Cool. What the hell did I just... Oh yeah. Of course, Meet the Feebles. For those of you who don't know what Meet the Feebles is, it's a puppet movie made by Peter Jackson. It's kind of like a gore movie. Like, if you've seen some of the older Peter Jackson movies, like Brain Dead, also known as Dead Alive in the US, and Bad Taste, it's kind of like that, but with puppets. It's pretty much Muppets on acid, having sex and murdering each other. It's a super funny movie, but really disgusting as well. But let's just quickly do a what's it called recap, sum up. Um, about just let's start with the puppet movies. See. Great puppet movies, of course, the Muppet movies. I'd say I haven't seen the new one, and some of the later ones, like Muppets in Space, is okay, but not compared to the older one. The best Muppet movies are definitely the first four, uh, which is of course the Muppet movie, The Great Muppet Caper, The Muppets Take Manhattan, and probably the best one, Muppets Christmas Carol. Then we have, of course, then I mentioned Mary and Max and the Adventures of uh, Mark Twain, which are both claymation. And then we have some stop motion, like The Pied Piper and what am I doing? Oh yeah, down here. The Pied Piper and Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is the reason I choose this topic. And then we have the fantasy ones like Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal. So there's a lot of, and there's more stop motion movies out there, of course, and more claymation and stuff like that. I haven't seen all of them, far from it. But yeah, it's refreshing to sometimes watch. I like when new stop motion movies, like for instance Fantastic Mr. Fox, when they make something like that that actually seems like it took some effort to make. I know that animating a animated movie, a cartoon, it takes like computer animation takes an effort too, but it's so unimaginative, if that's a word. I don't know if it is. Um, and finally, Crash Bandicoot, awesome game, nice 3D platformer, and I will jump this. I thought I would. I would highly recommend playing Crash Bandicoot. It's an old game, but in my opinion, although I haven't played that many 3D platformers, but I would say it's still fun, even though it's kind of getting on old. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this vlog. Gave you some inspiration to some puppet movies, stop motion movies, stuff like that. And if you haven't played Crash Bandicoot, and if you have the opportunity to do so, I would say go ahead. I'll see you next time for more reviews. Bye.